Hello and welcome back to the Community Roundup brought to you by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. I'm Jordan Prentice and today I am joined by Salvation Army Executive Director Jared Braun.
Hi, Jared. Good to be with you, Jordan.
Yes, thank you for joining me once again.
Absolutely.
So we're here at the Salvation Army Food Bank and we're just going to kind of talk about 2023 as a whole and what's coming up in the new year for the Salvation Army. So first of all, Jared, Christmas is your busiest time of year here at the Salvation Army.
Busiest and most exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting because you get to see the community come together and show their support for the Salvation Army. You guys have your kettle campaign. How did last year's kettle campaign go?
It went amazing. You know, we were taking a stretch. We knew coming into the season, one, our need was going to be higher because it's just been a challenging year for so many people, not only in our community but across our country, and we've been feeling that pressure. And so we knew there's going to be a lot of people that are looking for support, particularly at Christmas time. And the consequence of that is then there also may be less people able to contribute in the ways they have in the past. But we know that Fort St. John's a generous community, and so we set an ambitious goal to raise $150,000 from middle of November to the end of December, and we did it. We did more than that. We raised over $160,000 by the end, and so we just have been saying an incredible thank you to the individuals in Fort St. John, the businesses, the groups, so many different forms of contribution that came in just for the kettle campaign alone, let alone everything else that was coming in through Christmas, and really encouraging us that we could give a good Christmas to so many people.
Well, that's remarkable. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
That is awesome. And great job, Fort St. John. Love to see that. Looking at 2023 as a whole, I'd like to know some highlights for the Salvation Army here in Fort St. John and some challenges you guys experienced as well.
Yeah, I think highlights, I think of our staff, just the incredible work that they do, our volunteers, in just showing up and doing such heartfelt work every day to really live out the mission of our organization, just to share love and to share compassion in very practical ways. And the outcome of that is hundreds and hundreds of people fed. So like I said before, it was probably the busiest year we've ever seen, both in community and family services with the food bank, as well as all our housing programs. And we were upwards around 800 people a month that were coming through the food bank. And yet, because of the support of our staff, the support of the community, the connections we have with the grocery stores, we were able to provide ample and adequate food to all these individuals. And we saw a number of unique challenges. The number of refugees coming into Fort St. John, people fleeing some of the crisis situations around the world, like the situation in Ukraine, people coming to Fort St. John and starting with nothing. And the Salvation Army, our food bank, is often one of the first places they come looking for support as they get established here. And again, we were glad to be able to be here and have the resources and support to be able to meet those needs. And so, yeah, those definitely are some of the highlights, to be able to see those needs met. I think on the challenging side is some of the sad things that we face, particularly some of the people that we serve at the Northern Center of Hope with our housing programs. People that are really struggling, with their mental health, with addiction, the opioid crisis, with people, lives lost to overdose, that is really sad and heartbreaking. And it's difficult for our team to stand on the front lines of caring for people and then seeing them pass away. And we're grateful for many that we're able to serve. Our staff are well equipped and trained to respond to those situations. And yet we do have some of those losses. And so those are really some of the difficult things. And I talk about staff, and we have an incredible team, but we've dealt with staffing challenges as many organizations have. And so there's been times where we've been shorthanded and staff have to work extra hard to try and make up for different positions that are vacant and so on. So we always say, if you're looking for a job, consider the Salvation Army. It's a great place to work, and we have lots of awesome opportunities. But those are some of the challenges we face as well.
Okay, and what's going on? We were talking a little bit before the interview about the thrift store. You said you wanted to kind of bring some attention to that.
Yeah,
What's
you
going
know,
on over
it's
there?
it's a really important part of our work. We like to think we've got the best thrift store in Fort St. John. We love the folks at the MCC, excellent thrift store as well, but we're pretty biased. And the thrift store is really an important part of our work because it's probably the most consistent funding source we have, because all the sales that come into the thrift store, they come back in to serve the needs here at the food bank. And so it's a great way for people to support us while supporting themselves. You can get so many incredible items for yourself, clothing and household items, good quality. Our staff work really hard to make sure that the best quality is hitting the sales floor, and you can get it for so cheap. And yet, you know, all those dollars that are being raised come back in. And so we're really encouraging the community to consider a way to support is to shop at the thrift store, and the benefit is to every family, the money that you'll save by doing that as well. And of course, there's the environmental impact. You know, it's hundreds of thousands of pounds of material that we are diverting from the landfill because we operate a thrift store, and that's something sometimes people don't necessarily recognize. You know, that's a really important part, benefit and value into our community as well. That's contributed there. And so, yeah, we just always encourage people to come and check out our thrift store and see that as another way of supporting the Salvation Army.
Of course. And looking ahead at 2024, a little over 2 weeks into the year now, I'd like to know what you'd like to see happen for the Salvation Army in 2024, what you hope will happen.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to connect with the community in every way possible. You know, we serve hundreds and hundreds of people, but there's, you know, Christmas is such an encouraging time to see, you know, the number of people that come out and help out with kettles. I think we were over 500 shifts filled during that time. Upwards of 80 different people came and supported, and we'd love to see people continue to connect with our organization throughout the year and get involved and see hands-on what goes on. And so we have a wonderful volunteer coordinator who's a staff position that we have now. And so we're really encouraging people to consider volunteering with us. We either here at the food bank, or I talked about the thrift store. That's a great place to volunteer. We have some unique limited opportunities as well at the Northern Center of Hope. And so we always encourage people to reach out and even to come for a couple hours and check it out, or if people have time to do a consistent and regular thing. If there's someone who likes to drive, I know I have a need even in the next while. My driver's going on vacation, and if you'd like to help with going and picking up food at the grocery stores and bringing it in and getting to see the hands-on action at the food bank, we'd love to get some people that would be willing to be a volunteer driver. There's lots of fun and creative ways that people can support and get involved. And so we're hoping in 2024 that we see our volunteer numbers continue to go up as well.
And for people who want to interview, how do they go about it?
Yeah, so our website is the best place to go for everything related to Salvation Army in Fort St. John, and it's simply safsj.org. SA for Salvation Army, fsj.org. And there's links on there for donating financially, for volunteering, for looking at what job opportunities there are with us as well.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but once you're registered as a volunteer, like, you're in the system here, right?
Yep.
So
That's right. And we do kind of two different ways. So people that want to volunteer on an ongoing basis, so we have people that will come and take a regular shift at the food bank, or people that want to just come and do a one-off thing, whether maybe it's a business, you know. And we had, I think the credit union at the end of last year, they took an afternoon and volunteered a number of places.
Cool.
We can do a provisional, you know, it's a simplified application where they can just come in and do kind of a one-off experience as well. So yeah, our coordinator can line those things up.
SAFSJ.ca.
Yep.
Okay.
.org.
.org.
And we're on Facebook and Instagram as well, and those are great places to connect with us, and they're helpful ways as well for people to share our information through their channels as well. Look us up on YouTube. We've got some fun videos on there too. Yeah.
Sounds good. And finally, my last question for you, Jared, and I think it's an important one. What about for those community members who might need to access the resources that the Salvation Army has available? How can they go about doing so?
Well, first off, I always say don't hesitate to ask for help. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel ashamed. That's what we're here for. And we don't judge. We don't stigmatize. We're available to help anybody. And so feel free to come in. Our food bank drop-in is happening every Monday and Tuesday and Thursday in the morning and in the afternoon. Wednesday's the only day we're closed throughout the whole day for the food bank, and then Friday mornings people can drop in as well. We do make some appointments available Friday afternoons for people that may be a little more anxious or dealing with some anxiety issues or have unique requests. They can book an appointment to meet one-on-one with our staff. And our staff make it as personal an experience as possible. There's a simple application, but we don't do any income testing, so it's pretty straightforward, and we believe you'll feel welcome. It'll give you a hope. You'll get good foods, even produce and dairy and all the non-perishables that you might need. And anybody that's needing housing supports, they can just check in at our shelter. Shelter's open 24 hours a day. We usually recommend people, if they need a bed for a night, to check in late afternoon around 4 or 5 p.m. and just confirm that there's a bed available. And even if they have questions for how to apply for any of the other housing programs, our staff are available at both facilities 24 hours a day and are glad to help and answer questions.
Perfect. Did we cover everything? Anything else you want to throw in there, Jared?
I just always love to say just a huge thank you to the people of Fort St. John for supporting us. Again, the Christmas season was incredible. The food donations, toy donations, finance donations show that the community cares about what we do. And so I don't take that for granted. Our team doesn't take that for granted. We say thank you. And we look forward to working together as a community to serve our community in 2024. And we appreciate the opportunity to connect with you about that.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Jared. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Folks, you've been watching the Community Roundup brought to you by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. I'm Jordan Prentice, and today I've been joined by Salvation Army Executive Director Jared Braun, and we will see you next time.
Take care.